I died while giving birth. So what, you say? Every year, millions of women around
the world die the same way. Don't bother us about something like that. Sure, it's true. But what I wanted to tell you is that I was only 9 years old when my husband got me pregnant. Nobody seems to know it, but there are lots of us too. Every day, let me repeat that, every day, some 20,000 girls under the age of 18 give birth all over the world, and lots of them, like me, are less than 14 years old. Does that get your attention? Here we are, the child brides, the doll mummies, mothers who are so young themselves that they can't even manage to carry their own children. And some of them, like me, can't even manage to bring them into the world to begin with. My husband is an important man in my village. He's a tradesman, and everyone respects him. You can't be impolite to him or risk offending him. In fact, when he asked my father if he could marry me, Daddy really couldn't say no, even though he was 5 times my age. Besides, my future husband had already offered my father quite a lot of money in exchange for his little girl. You can imagine how proud I was. Finally, I was worth something to my family. They even gave me extra helpings at dinner time for a week before the weddings, as if I were a boy. Women are always saying what a nuisance it is to have their periods. I wouldn't know, because I only got mine once. It never came again, because after just 1 month, I was already pregnant. The doctor had told us it would be better to wait at least a year to celebrate our honeymoon. But my husband was a man, and he needed a woman. Especially for that, you know. Men aren't mean, they just have to find some relief. Why should they go and waste good money on some lady when they have already paid for a wife? That's what my husband said to me the night he had his way with me. But he didn't even have to use any force, because I lay there that night almost if I were lifeless, just like my rag doll. Then I fainted, and I can't remember anything else that happened. They say it's called a honeymoon because it's the sweetest day of your life. I guess that must be true, but it sure didn't feel that way for me. Maybe it's because I've never really liked sugary stuff. Everyone knows I would much rather have a nice taste ball than a sweet. Every week, when I came back from selling his wares in the markets, my husband kept coming back to my bed, and even though my belly was growing bigger day by day, he kept taking more of that sweet honey. But for me, life seemed more and more bitter. I had stopped going to school. What else could I do? It happens to millions of girls around the world. I know so because our teacher told my parents while trying to persuade them to let me continue my studies. But my father didn't want to hear anything about it. Don't blame me. Our fathers do it for our own sake. They think they can protect us from the world's hidden dangers by finding us a husband. When a poor little girl gets married, it's like she's getting a kind of insurance policy. Once she's someone's wife, she will be safe and sound. No one will try to molest or rape her or make her pregnant, except her husband, of course. My baby was too big. He just couldn't find his way out of me. And then I realized I couldn't breathe anymore. The two of us slipped off together, up into the heavens. And all of a sudden, the world looked very small, far smaller than us. And we two become as big as giants that no grown-up will ever dare lay a hand on again.